decided to become a musician.
Hello and welcome back to Watchin' Stuff, the show about watching stuff. I'm Nero, and with me is my Canadian counterpart Y-Boy, and today, let me spin you a yarn. Can I spin you a yarn?
Please spin me a yarn, Nero. Please spin me it.
I'm gonna spin you this yarn. Imagine, if you will, let's talk movies. Let me know if you've heard about this movie before.
Yeah.
A bright-eyed individual who doesn't fit in with everyone around them. You know, they're different. You know, they don't conform. You know, they go to the big city to follow their dream.
Oh yes, I see. That sounds so totally not like 20 other movies that I've already heard about. But please continue, Nero. Continue.
Well, this masterpiece, or should I say, mastiff piece. Puns. Oh, this movie's a piece of crap. No, sorry. That's I was out of line. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Today we're talking about Rock Dog. You know what Rock Dog's about?
It's about a dog that can rock.
You would think, but no, because Luke Wilson can't sing worth jack shit.
No, not at all. You might remember, like, for our viewers who've seen one of my top 5 videos, like, I placed this at my top 4, I believe, that I was most anticipated for. That anticipation was
Ain't that a bitch?
reciprocated.
The story of Rock Dog, and you know, we basically gave you a breakdown, but the breakdown's simple enough. You know, there's this guy, you know, there's this young pup, you know, not a child, maybe a young adult named Bodhi, young Tibetan Mastiff, which I guess this movie might be taking place in Tibet.
Yeah,
it's kind of unclear because
like no one really says anything. All we know is that it was based off a graphic novel called Tibetan Rock Dog by Zun Jun.
Yeah, Zun Jun, and it was, I believe, Chinese in origin. So, of course, America is the perfect representative to do that.
Yes, perfect in every single way possible. I can't possibly think what could fuck up there.
Oh, well then let me enlighten you. So, our main lead is Bodhi, a young Tibetan Mastiff, and he's, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and optimistic, and what he wants to be more than anything is a musician. But old Dad... You know, Dad's old and set in his ways.
Oh, he is super old, set in his ways. Oh, what Bodhi has to do is take care of the sheep in his village and just prepare to be the master who protects them all.
Yes. So, you know, Bodhi's dad, Kampa, played by the ever-amazing J.K. Simmons. You know, he decides, you know what? I'll let my son go to the big city. And when he fails miserably... then he'll be back, and then he'll be mine.
Yeah, you really chose that as a real sticking point for his character, and I agree, it is a real sticking point. We say, when you fail, you can come back.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
The dad's just like, when you fuck up, and I know you will, you're mine.
Yeah, it is awful. So Bodhi goes to the big city and meets all of his archetypical friends. The stoner sheep, the girl... the asshole.
Yeah, like, it isn't weird, like, he goes to not New York, but it's
not Zootopia.
Or not Zootopia. He goes to a very New York-esque place, and, you know, he goes there, and it's like, oh, boy, and he, you know, like you said, you know, he meets a goat, who's a stoner, and he meets the... kind of tough girl fox, but she's not really that tough. He meets a random douchebag snow leopard named Trey. God, you gotta love, by the way, how many douchebag characters are named fucking Trey?
Yeah, that's the most dude bro name to really choose from.
That reminds me of The Reef, because there's like a douche shark bully in there, and his name is Trey. It's annoying. So Bodhi goes here, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna play music, and I'm gonna start a band, and he doesn't. Instead he bothers the fuck out of a actual celebrity, and the reason why is because when he's in Tibet, asterisk, question mark, China. He's somewhere. Wherever his home is, he's there, and a plane that happens to drop its luggage drops a radio, I guess from the 1990s, by the way, because this movie also can't tell you what its technology range is.
Yeah.
But
most, if not assuredly, it's probably in the 90s because
Yeah.
of all the music in the background and such, but let's continue on.
So the idea is that, he gets this radio and he hears about this awesome musician called Angus Scattergood.
Hey, yeah!
Did you bloody hear me? You are doing my nutting. I was this close to laying down a completely killer track, and you...
Are you Angus Scattergood?
No, I'm his gardener.
Oh my gosh! I'm actually meeting Angus Scattergood's gardener. This is
There's a cat played by Eddie Izzard, which is somehow perfectly fitting, because I can't help but think Eddie Izzard would be a cat if he was, like, in Zootopia. And, there's this cat who's going through some, like, songwriting withdrawals or, like, writer's block. He can't make a song, but the label's, like, pressuring his ass to get a song done. Also, he's got a robot butler. I know that seems like we're completely glancing over that, but trust me, the movie does too. He has a robot butler. But Bodhi's brilliant plan is, I'm gonna harass the fuck out of this celebrity, and then I'll be a great musician.
Yeah. And you would think that would be the whole entire story there. Just Bodhi's journey of making the band, just learning how to play music and all that jazz. But it's not. Because it's not only Cats Don't Dance in Zootopia, but it also has a little sprinkling of Kung Fu Panda in there. As we start off with this 2D animated section that's just straight out of Kung Fu Panda.
It is. But you know what the thing is? That's probably one of the best scenes, too, just because of the visual aesthetic. But it ruins the setup. Because the setup we get is like, oh, this is going to be some awesome Kung Fu thing. It's, what the fuck? It's going to be some kind of bitchin' Kung Fu stuff. And it's not.
Yeah, there's not one single fight in this. Unless you count one of the fights during the end, but it lasts about 20 seconds, so I wouldn't count it.
This disappointing setup of promising of Kung Fu is about as disappointing as the new Marvel Iron Fist. Because it's like, oh man, they're gonna like fight wolves and they can shoot like fireballs from their hands. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? That actually pretty much never comes up to like the last like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, never really happens.
Yeah.
Like this movie's just biggest issue that I can just like nail down right now. It has no idea what sort of tone it wants to set for its actual story. Does it want to be the musical Cats Don't Dance, or does it want to be Kung Fu Panda? It's trying to find a little middle ground there, but there really isn't one. It's
funny, because when we were watching, and we kept saying this to each other, was like, you notice all these similarities. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed individual, that's Cats Don't Dance and Zootopia, goes to a huge city full of colorful animal characters. That's Zootopia and Cats Don't Dance again. But then there's also, like, a legendary enemy that will return to the mountain, and that's Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, legendary enemy, as in the Wolf Mafia.
And like, this individual needs to, like, sing music to get their big break, so it's like the movie Sing. And I totally came to this weird conclusion when I was on the throne praying to the porcelain god, and I realized something. The wolves, their whole motivation is to eat the sheep, right?
Yeah.
It's freaking over the hedge. Bunch of animals just want to get something to eat.
It is.
It's like unintentionally, it's like, oh, it's also over the hedge.
Yeah, this movie is just basically the table scraps up so many other different concepts. All good concepts in their own rights. Over the hedge is sort of like 50-50 on what you really think of it. But anyway, it's just basically the table scraps of everything just pushed together to try to make a full movie. But we agree there's some good points to it. Like even the Angus character, like we were saying, like he could have a good arc to him and all that if they actually develop that.
Because Bodhi's character is the generic, optimistic character.
I'm gonna play music, whooshy.
I'm also just thinking like, bright-eyed individual that doesn't understand how the world works. That's also fucking Wreck-It Ralph. That was Fix-It Felix Jr. Because he was like, he doesn't understand how the world works outside his game.
Well, that's probably just a lot of other different anime
Yeah,
movies as well. It's just easy. It's like, I'm from a different world. What's this? What's this? What's this? Whoa!
Like,
I don't know anything.
It's just like, the idea is like, oh, he meets this cat that's a musician. But like, because the cat has writer's block, he's going to use Bodhi as a means to write the music he can't write. He's going to use Bodhi to come up with lyrics and come up with a melody, and he's just going to steal the song. And the thing is, you could have had such an interesting story of, this is where Angus's intent started, but then as he spent time with Bodhi, got to know him, the muse that died within Angus he sees in Bodhi, and it ignites a fire that he wants to take this pupil, and it goes from like, oh, I was going to use you, but I actually really admire you now. You're like how I was when I was young and I was starting out as a musician. And,
yeah, that would have all been super nice. Good thing it's just a montage here.
Yeah, it's one brief montage, and then we have to worry about Kenan Thompson coming in to play a wolf, which, by the way, you want to know how, like, this fucking movie kind of cheaps out on some of its stuff? It's so clear that Kenan Thompson's character, Riff, is the same wolf model used for Lewis Black's character, just squished shorter. It's the same damn model.
Yeah.
It's so lazy. It's so cheap.
Yeah. Well, they did that with all the sheep as well. Just put them in different clothing. For
Yes,
all of them.
it's like Frozen, how all the fucking rock trolls look the same. Here's the thing that really gets us: like, story-wise, it's boring. Character-wise, it's real fucking boring. Okay, voice acting-wise, with the exception of Luke Wilson, who is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's just dull as dirt.
My God, man. We could have put a piece of wood to the mic.
Yeah.
And it probably would have given a more lively fucking performance than you did, sir.
Yeah, like, people know about my opinion for Cats Don't Dance and the main character, Danny, and I feel that he's about as... he is, like, the epitome of the wooden character.
But you know what?
Happy archetype.
That actor still felt like he had energy behind his performance as Danny than Luke did as Bodhi.
Yeah, that is just how horribly wooden Bodhi is as a character.
Now, the strange thing, a lot of the other characters are played really well.
Yeah.
Like, Eddie Izzard as Angus Scattergood, sounds great. 10 out of 10. I don't know why they didn't get, like, maybe a more iconic musician celebrity, like Ozzy Osbourne or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that. That would actually have been really interesting to hear.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
Man, this cat, 10 out of 10. Like, J.K. Simmons as the dad, Campa. J.K. Simmons does do a good performance.
Yeah.
You know,
Luke, the character is not, not the par.
It's the stereotypical dad where it's like, I'm fucking disappointed in my kid. You know what? It's like Book of Life.
Yeah.
I'm fucking disappointed in my son.
I hated Book of Life. So,
Oh, then you're gonna love the treat I'm gonna get to in a bit. Mae Whitman was in there as Dharma the Red Fox. She was fine, even though her character didn't add anything to the narrative. She was she was barely in the movie, quite honestly. Like, occasionally they'll just cut to her and she'll be doing something.
yeah, it was like, I'm trying to think, like 4 scenes where she appeared, really.
Yeah, like, he meets her once. He talks to her about meeting Angus Scattergood. He meets her, like, one last time, and then they have, like, the band together, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott as...
That was the oddest character choice there.
See, here's the thing I had said to Y-Boy when we started. I'd asked you, this is based off, like, Chinese stuff, right? And you're like, yeah. You know, it's Tibetan, stuff like that. It's, it's very Kung Fu Panda-esque. And then, like, the first person we hear, Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Bodhi isn't you. He's looking for his own paradise.
The most cowboy voice that you could ever put into anything.
The most Western man in West. Oh, how you doing? Like, oh, what the fuck? And then it's like, oh, don't worry. By the way, here's the main character's dad, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be a musician, Bodhi. You're gonna be a guard. Get used to it.
Are you shitting me with this?
Oh,
Holy...
this definitely seems Eastern to me.
Like, I thought Master Mantis with the voice of Seth Rogen was really fucking off-putting. And then, like, oh god, was it, David Cross as Master Crane? Also off-putting.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie as Mistress Tigress? Okay, that was actually more manageable.
Yeah.
But, like, it's funny. I remember people, and why, boy, you remember this shit. When Kubo came out, movie also rips off Kubo, by the way. Totally does the guitar energy blast from fucking Kubo. But remember when Kubo came out, and we had seen all those articles, and all those articles kept saying, this is whitewashing, this is God, what do they say when you take a culture and you, like, acclimate it?
Appropriating.
You're appropriating a culture. Ain't no one said shit about this movie because nobody fucking saw this movie.
Yeah, really. No one
We
was
did.
really clamoring for this movie. This is one of the movies that people were just nailing right away. It's like, this is gonna be crap immediately.
Yeah, and so, like, you guys want to talk about, like, awkward sounding voices for, like, Chinese, like, stuff? Come on, man. Sam Elliott? Holy shit.
Yeah, he did not fit, and his whole narrator role just it's just so irritating in a lot of ways.
I feel like he keeps getting that character because he was that in the Ghost Rider movie too, where it's like, you know, you hear the legend of the Ghost Rider. I do a shit Sam Elliott voice, but like, so, the legend of the Ghost Rider. Okay, Sam, thanks. You know, here's the check.
Sam Elliott in this movie just turns to the camera and just basically go, "Oh well, Bodhi and his dad are just having hard times, aren't they? He's just going to have to learn to really love his son for who he is."
I think it'll learn to work itself out. So, okay, let me give you the fun bit about this. The company that animated this, it's Real FX.
What? No, it was
Yeah.
Real effects.
The same guys who did our beloved, you know, Freebirds, which, by the way, make sure to click and go watch that. Boy sat through that to review it. Actually, come to think of it, I'm in on that review too because I helped you. I sit through that with you. I worked on that script with you too.
Yeah.
You also did a video of Book of Life, correct? You did like a small spotlight for it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I did some of the graphics for that one. So be sure to check those out. Link in the description below. And Real Effects. Let's talk about Real Effects for a minute now. Real Effects is interesting because if you've seen the Freebirds review and you know we lived through it, the fucking effects in that were shit.
Yeah, they were. The animation for the turkeys was alright, but they were definitely on their first steps to the animation studio.
But those dogs.
Yeah, those dogs, alright.
Those dogs ripped from
with the
PS1
Book
games.
of Life and such.
You know, and here's the thing. This is another thing where this movie kind of like reflects Book of Life. Book of Life was another film where it's like, narratively, it's okay, but like visually, fucking breathtaking.
Yeah, above anything else, this movie doesn't look bad at all. All the character models look great, the settings are nice, and just animation and art style wise, it's still a really good movie.
It is. It looks actually pretty solid. I could see why it would get a theatrical release. It's by no means like bargain bin DVD CGI quality, but it's also by no means like Pixar.
Yeah, no.
But it's not terrible.
It didn't need to be Pixar or anything. It was definitely good enough to be its own thing.
It had
the
personality.
Writing was there. If the writing was there, I think it could have like competed against those sort of movies in a way.
Oh, I don't think it could have because of.
I mean compete in the sort of way that it could have just stand alongside of like, yes, I'm here too as Real Effects.
Like, this movie did so shitty. $60 $60 million, and it was the most expensive Chinese financed animated product to date.
Oh, great.
So I first off, I want to say $60 million is expensive. Fuck, man. Frozen and Moana, that must be like something that the gods must have funded then, because the money Disney puts into that stuff.
Yeah, they cut a lot of cost over in China to get their animated films out.
But like to push it a step further, you want to know how bad this did?
Why? How bad?
Okay, so we got a $60 million budget. Now you have to double that, so that's $120 million, because you have to do like ad campaigns and such like that. You know, all that good stuff.
Yeah, make your money, then make the profit afterwards.
Okay. So, we had a movie, and I'm reading this off the Wikipedia because this is important, damn it. It grossed 8.6 mil here in Canada, which is weird because I could have swore it didn't show in Canada.
Yeah, I heard news all over that it wasn't showing in Canada, and I couldn't find it anywhere. There was no trailers or anything nearby. So.
I could have swore there was an article that flat out said it's not airing in Canada, and one of the Canadian reviewers online flat out just said, "Oh, well, that was one of the movies I was going to take a look at, and now I can't."
Yeah, that was me as well.
Oh, was it? Okay. And then it made $11.4 million in other territories, and worldwide it made $20 million against a $60 million budget. But like that's not bad enough. That's not bad enough. Get this, all right? The film has been a box office failure in China. It was suggested that the largest Chinese theater chain, Wanda Cinema Line, attempted to limit the amount of screens the film would be shown on. The film was shown only on 7 Wanda screens. That is 0.3% of all of its screens in all of China.
Wow, that's almost as bad as what happened to Gem and the Holograms when it came out.
That shit got pulled in 2 fucking weeks.
Yep, and this just got downgraded even more.
I saw some people when this movie came out, they're like, "Oh, it's the next Norm of the North." Nope.
Oh, no,
Nope.
no.
Not even close.
No, not at all.
It's bland, but
all
fuck
intents and
it.
purposes, it's just okay in a lot of ways. It's stupidly written, but at least it's serviceable for what it fails to do.
It's like Angus Scattergood said in the movie. That's not bad. It's kind of good. Ish.
Yeah. But just put good and just put okay in that place.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's so average. There was really no reason for a theatrical release for this.
Yeah, really, no reason at all. When it doesn't really get blood pumping and all that, you get all angry at it. It's like, oh god, how could these filmmakers make this completely harmless movie about this bright-eyed dreamer trying to make his dream and also have Kung Fu Panda powers?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, oh, you think it's gonna be a musical? 2 scenes.
Yeah, we were actually looking.
I was looking forward to that because, like,
yeah, we were looking forward to it.
Like,
'Cause we had,
musical,
like, one
cool.
scene of the music of Jim just, oh my god, music! I'm discovering it now. And then it's just all the build up to that final musical number.
Well, like,
at the very end.
I don't get, because it's like the musical scene, especially musical animation, that's run by Disney, like a crime family. Like they have a hold on that. So it's like, okay, then Sing came out. I haven't seen it yet. We'll give it a shot sometime though.
Yeah,
and
definitely. I saw little bits of it. Like the musical numbers, I like.
It seemed fine. Yeah, like you looked at it, you're like, oh, that looks like that'll probably be actually a pretty good one. And then you get to this, and you're like, oh, can it like compete? Not even in the same category.
Yeah. It's that sort of stigma with animated films nowadays, like that people don't want to see musicals anymore.
Well, because like Disney like pioneered it, so everybody thinks they have to fucking do it. Which is ironic, because then there are movies that Disney makes where they don't do it.
Yeah, then it sort of creates this sort of like opposite effect, just sort of like, oh my god, if everyone's doing it, then I can't do it, then I have to be different, so I have to not do it.
Yeah, it's like, God, it's like a double-edged sword. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're gonna be screwed no matter what you do.
Yeah, exactly. This was damned because it didn't do it.
And this thing did really bad. Rotten Tomato gave it a 39, averaging a 5.3 out of 10. Again, very, very average. You know, they say, critics said second tier animation. Actually, animation-wise, it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Didn't look bad, actually. I mean,
yeah, people are just hard on animation for critics nowadays when it comes to like.
I think everyone wants it to be Pixar.
Movies.
Like everyone wants it to be like Pixar or DreamWorks. Like those are the two that you gotta beat. And for some reason, that's the one everybody's like, if it ain't those two, then it's just shit. And it's like, you know, it could be just a different style. It doesn't have to be 110% on the nose or surpass it.
Yeah, like, remember Legend of Oz, Dorothy's Return, how everyone was ripping the animation apart completely?
And it was fine. It was, you know, it was fine. Like, it wasn't Pixar, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? This could have been way fucking worse. We've seen movies.
Yeah, especially with animation, people are just picky about their animations.
I feel like a lot of us have sort of been oh god, for lack of a better word, indoctrinated, to have this viewpoint where it's like, well, if it ain't like Pixar good, and then if you can't afford Pixar good, you need to have DreamWorks good. But if you can't have DreamWorks good, you might be able to get Blue Sky good. But if you can't get Blue Sky, you get like Real Effects good.
Yeah, real. Even though Real Effects is probably better animation-wise than Blue Sky.
Yeah, because I think Book of Life kicks the shit out of anything in like Blue Sky or Sony Animations even line up. Like I remember people like talking shit about Hotel Transylvania. This looks like shit. It looks good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. It looks good. It looks fine.
Like, they're different. I hate different.
It's not the same. Fuck. That's what it feels like. I mean, it's like people are going crazy about that shit. Metacritic 48 out of 100. You know, here's the thing. You know, because there's not too much we could really keep saying about this because otherwise we're beating a dead horse.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up at this point. What is Rock Dogs to you?
To me, honestly, it is a 3 out of 5, and the reason for that is because to me, usually the way my scale works is 1's the worst, 5's the best, 3 is that middle of the road. It is dead center. It's like you flipped a coin and it landed on its side. It's not neither heads nor is it the wondrous of tails. It is just there.
Yeah, it'll be the same for me. I'll just go 5 out of 10 for this. It's completely middle of the road average. It has some really lame writing in there, but it's not writing that will just make me angry at it. It's just sort of the writing that makes me sort of bored by it.
Yeah. And eventually we'll actually start implementing a new kind of like numbering system sort of deal. We did come up with one for the show, but this was so spur of the moment because we watched this and we were like, oh man, we gotta talk about this. I mean,
we just got our cameras in.
We just got our cameras in. It's like, it's too boring to do a Cartoon Corner or near reviews on, but man, we could do a watching stuff on it. That'll make it easy.
Woo!
So we got that going for us. The one hilarious incident of this movie that I kind of like find funny. It was done by Lionsgate. Lionsgate are the guys who did the new Power Ranger movie I just saw.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be recording that soon. Don't they also do is Lionsgate Alpha and Omega?
Yeah, Lionsgate was Alpha and Omega.
I said that as soon as we got to the theater. It's like we got there. It's like Power Rangers, Lionsgate. Like I have my two friends on each side of me. I'm like, those are the guys that did Alpha and Omega, and they both look at me and they're like, fuck.
Fuck, no, not them, no.
Let that be said. Company that releases Lionsgate, it's animated a shitload better. If Alpha and Omega even had like if you ever heard like you can't squeeze blood from a stone.
I never heard of that.
There's an old saying. God damn it! It's called you can't squeeze blood from a fucking stone. Like. If you squeezed a rock as hard as you could in order to get even a drop of the talent of the animation here in Alpha and Omega, Alpha and Omega would starve to death. Alpha and Omega's animation is shit.
Yeah.
But that's Rock Dog, people. It is as mundane as the title.
So if you're actually interested at all in seeing it, it's a harmless sort of watch overall.
You might as well skip it, though.
Yeah, it's just skippable. It's a harmless, skippable watch.
Hell, to be honest, after we make this video and post it, we probably won't even remember seeing this movie.
Yeah, I probably still will. I'll just be like, "Oh, I was excited for that one."
We'll see comments on this video on the channel, and we'll just be like, "Huh, we saw that, didn't we?"
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, we'll just remember it. Hopefully the other movie that I'm looking forward to, Ballerina/Leap/whatever name it's gone,
is that the one?
Be better than this.
Is that the one with the? Is that the one that had like all the fat slamming that like went up in arms about it, or is that a different one?
What, fat slamming? No.
Yeah, there's a movie where it's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but she puts on slippers and she like is skinny, but then she takes them off and she gets fat.
Oh no, it's not that.
Okay.
But I did actually see a trailer for that. I was just like, whoa. That's weird.
Yeah, right. And that dude, the fucking internet lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree on that shit. Like,
oh no!
Why are you insulting fat people? Fat people can't dance. I don't fucking know, man. It's
fat people can't dance.
It's just a fucking teaser. Calm your tits. We'll get to it.
No, Ballerina and Leap wasn't that.
So
But maybe someday we'll talk about it. Ooh.
Yeah. That's said and done, guys. This is Watching Stuff, a show about where two guys sit and watch some stuff. And remember... Oh, did you have something to say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to everybody, if you have any suggestions on what you want us to watch, then please just put it in the comments below for that.
Yeah, you know,
we're happy to do any sort of suggestions, whether it be movie, TV show, or anything like that.
Yeah, throw out some titles and stuff like that. You know, we could always, you know, if we can find the movie, we can give it a shot. Maybe it'll be good enough for CC. Maybe it'll be good enough for like narrow reviews. But if it ain't good enough for either one, it's kind of home place on Watching Stuff. Oh crap! All sorts of shit'll fly here.
Oh yeah, but until then, be sure to tune in
to ToonGrin.
Peace, guys.
Ciao.